everyone. Welcome back to the Daily English Listening Podcast. I'm Michelle, and if you want an immersive listening session, this podcast was made for you.
And I'm Chris. Hey, Michelle, how's it going?
Hi, Chris. I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. You are so sweet.
My pleasure. Okay, before anything else, I want to ask you something. How many of the decisions you make in a day are really yours, and how many are just so someone else doesn't get upset?
That's a big question for the first 30 seconds of an episode.
Stay with me. How much of what you do is really about feeling good with yourself, no matter what other people think?
Honestly, less than I'd like to admit.
One more, and then I'll let you talk. Did you ever think that first, you are you, second, you are you, and third, you are still you?
Chris, that sounds like something you'd put on a mug.
Maybe, but it's also today's whole episode.
Doing things for yourself, not against other people, just for you first.
So, Michelle, how are you today, really?
Honestly, a little tired of saying yes to things I don't want to do.
The classic Michelle move.
I said yes to organizing the neighborhood meeting again. Nobody asked twice. I just offered.
You offered before anyone even finished the sentence.
I know, and that's basically why we're talking about this today.
Doing it for yourself, not for the applause.
Which is a little ironic since I'm the one who usually needs the applause the most.
We noticed.
And if this is already feeling useful, this is a good moment to subscribe to the Daily English Listening Podcast so you never miss an episode.
And a like helps more people find us. It really does.
So let's get into it. Why does this topic matter so much right now for so many people?
Because most of us were basically trained to look outside for the answer. Did I do a good job? Ask your boss. Was that a good choice? Ask your parents.
And somewhere in there, we forget to ask ourselves.
We forget the question even exists.
And it doesn't help that a lot of us grew up hearing that thinking about yourself first is a little selfish.
Right, like there's an invisible rule that says good people always put themselves last.
But then those same good people quietly burn out and nobody understands why.
Because from the outside, everything looked fine. They were helping everyone, showing up for everyone.
Just not for themselves.
So where does that leave us?
Here is something we want to ask you.
What is one thing you do only for other people's approval, even though you don't really want to do it?
It could be small, like always agreeing with a friend's plans, or big, like a whole career path.
Write it in the comments. We read every single one.
I actually have a story about this. It happened last spring, and I still think about it.
Tell me.
I planned a whole trip, flights, hotel, a very detailed spreadsheet, obviously.
Obviously.
And 2 days before we left, my sister said the dates weren't great for her, so I changed everything. New flights, new hotel, extra cost, just so she wouldn't be a little inconvenienced.
Did she even ask you to change it?
That's the thing. She didn't. She just mentioned it, almost as a comment, and I heard it as an order.
So you rebuilt an entire trip because of one comment.
One comment. And when I finally sat on the plane, I felt this strange, heavy tiredness. Not from the trip, from the constant checking. Is this okay for everyone? Is this okay for her? Is this okay for them?
That sounds exhausting and also very familiar.
Somewhere in that flight, I thought, when was the last time I made a decision and the first question wasn't, what will people think?
And what was the answer?
I genuinely couldn't remember.
Michelle, that's kind of a big realization for a plane seat.
It was. I think that's when I first heard the word people pleaser and actually felt it land, instead of just hearing it as a term other people used.
Did you say anything to your sister afterward?
Not right away. I actually waited a few weeks because I was a little embarrassed about how much I'd rearranged for one small comment.
That's very human, though. Nobody wants to admit they rebuilt a whole trip over nothing.
Eventually, I told her, and she was surprised. She said she never expected me to change anything. She was just thinking out loud.
So the whole thing happened mostly in your head.
Mostly. And that's the part that scared me a little. If I imagine what people want without even asking, I could keep doing this forever without anyone ever requesting it.
So now, when you plan something, what's different?
Now I ask one extra question before I change anything. Did this person actually ask me to change it, or did I just assume they wanted me to?
That's a small question with a pretty big effect.
It is. Most of the time, the answer is nobody asked, I just assumed.
We're going to come back to that word. But first, my turn, because my story goes the opposite direction.
Go on.
A few months ago, I decided to start running. Nobody told me to, my doctor didn't ask, my friends don't care either way.
So why did you start?
Because I woke up one random Tuesday and thought, I want to feel strong for myself, not for anyone watching.
That's very unlike your usual sofa-based lifestyle.
I know, believe me, my sofa noticed. But here's the strange part. The first week was awful. My legs hurt, I was slow, and nobody was there to see any of it.
No audience at all.
Zero. And that's the moment I realized something. If nobody's watching and I still want to keep going, that's a completely different kind of motivation.
One that comes from inside, not from the reaction you'll get.
Right. Before, when I tried to exercise, I always quit fast because deep down I was doing it for a photo or a comment or to impress someone at work.
And this time?
This time, there was no photo, just me out of breath at 6 in the morning, doing it because it made me feel like myself again.
That's actually the first version I've heard of you being productive on purpose.
History will remember this day.
Did you tell anyone you were running in the beginning?
No, and that was actually the point. The moment I told people, I noticed I started running for the comments. Nice job, Chris. Keep going, Chris. And suddenly, my legs cared more about the likes than the actual run.
So the audience changed the reason.
Completely. So now I keep some of it quiet, on purpose. Not because it's a secret, just so it stays mine a little longer before it becomes a performance for other people.
That's a strange kind of discipline, keeping something good to yourself.
It is, but it means when I run badly or skip a day, I'm not managing anyone's opinion about it. I'm just adjusting my own plan.
No audience to disappoint.
None. Just me and my very tired legs.
So let's dig into this a little more, because there's a real difference between caring about people and losing yourself completely.
Right, because caring about others isn't the problem.
Not at all. The problem starts when every single choice passes through one filter first. Will this make them happy? Before it ever passes through, does this feel right to me?
I think a lot of people become what's called a people pleaser without ever deciding to.
A people pleaser is someone who constantly puts other people's comfort and approval before their own needs, almost automatically.
It doesn't feel like a choice. It feels like a habit you built one small yes at a time.
For example, saying yes to plans you don't want just to avoid an awkward silence.
Or staying quiet in a meeting because disagreeing feels too risky.
And over time, that habit gets exhausting because you're basically living two lives, the one you show and the one you actually want.
So how do you tell the difference between being kind and being a people pleaser?
I think it comes down to one honest question. If nobody would ever find out, would you still make this choice?
If the answer is no, that's usually a sign you're doing it for the audience, not for yourself.
There's another concept that connects here, something we could call self-approval.
That sounds fancy. Break it down for us.
Self-approval simply means being able to look at your own choices and feel okay with them without needing someone else to confirm it first.
So instead of waiting for a compliment to feel good about a decision,
You already feel settled with it because it matches what you actually value.
I think that's honestly rare. Most of us check our phone after a decision, waiting for the reaction.
We do, and that constant checking keeps us dependent on other people's opinions for our own peace of mind.
So if self-approval is the goal, what actually helps someone build it?
I think it starts with something smaller, learning to notice your gut feeling before you ask anyone else.
Your gut feeling, like that first instinct before you overthink everything.
That's the one. Well, without using that word.
Nice save.
Thank you. That first instinct, before all the second guessing starts, usually already knows what you want.
The problem is we don't trust it. We ask 3 friends before we trust our own gut feeling.
True. And there's a second piece too, learning to set boundaries.
Boundaries, meaning limits on what you're willing to accept or do for other people.
Right. A boundary can be as simple as saying, I can't help with that this weekend, without adding 3 apologies after it.
I used to add so many apologies. Sorry, I'm really sorry. Is that okay? Sorry.
One clean sentence is enough. A boundary isn't rude, it's information.
It tells people what works for you and what doesn't.
And without boundaries, people slowly get burnt out, doing things they never actually agreed to want.
Burnt out, like completely drained, no energy left, right?
Right. Physically tired, but also tired in a quieter, deeper way. Tired of performing for everyone else.
I think there's also something sneaky that feeds all of this. Comparison, always checking what everyone else is doing before deciding what you want.
True. Comparison basically outsources the decision to a stranger's life instead of your own.
Like choosing a career path because it looks impressive online, not because it actually fits you.
Or staying in a routine you dislike because everyone around you seems to think it's the responsible choice.
The tricky part is, comparison feels like information, but it's really just noise dressed up as advice.
And it's endless too. There's always someone doing more, faster, or better if you keep scrolling long enough.
Which means the comparing never actually finishes. It just quietly follows you around all day.
And the more noise you listen to, the quieter your own gut feeling gets.
So maybe part of building self-approval is simply lowering the volume on everyone else for a while.
Not forever, just long enough to hear yourself again.
So practically speaking, how would this sound in real life? Give us an example.
Let's say a friend asks you to help move apartments this Saturday, but you already had plans for yourself.
The old me would say, sure, no problem, and then quietly cancel my own plans.
The new version could sound like, I can't help this Saturday, but I hope the move goes smoothly.
Short, honest, no drama.
Or at work, instead of quietly taking on extra tasks every time, you could say, I can take this on, but it means I'll need more time on the other project.
That's not selfish, that's just true to yourself.
True to yourself, meaning your words and actions actually match what you believe instead of what you think people expect from you.
I like that. It's not about ignoring people, it's about not disappearing completely from your own life.
I think that's really the whole difference between being selfish and being self-respecting.
Break that down for us, because those two get confused all the time.
Being selfish usually means ignoring other people's needs to get what you want, even at their expense.
But being self-respecting is different.
Completely different. It just means your own needs are also allowed to be part of the equation. Not the only part, just a part.
So it's not me instead of you, it's me as well as you.
That's it. Nobody has to lose for you to matter in your own life.
Earlier in the hook, I said something like first you, second you, third you. I actually meant it seriously, even if it sounded like a joke.
I did wonder about that.
I think it means when you're deciding something, check with yourself first, then check again, and only after that, think about everyone else.
So it's not that other people come last forever.
No, it's just that you stop skipping straight to their opinion before you've even asked your own.
That order matters more than people think. You first, you again, and then finally the rest of the world.
And most days, by the time you get to the rest of the world, you already know what you actually want.
That clears something up for me, actually.
I think people avoid that idea because they were taught that wanting things for yourself is a little shameful.
Especially if you grew up hearing that being good meant always putting others first, no matter the cost.
And nobody ever mentioned that the cost was your own energy, your own dreams, your own gut feeling.
True. So relearning this isn't selfish. It's honestly overdue for a lot of people.
So maybe today's small step is this: one tiny decision made only for you, and see how it feels.
Could be small, like choosing the restaurant you actually want, not the one you think will please everyone.
Or telling a friend the honest answer instead of the easy one.
Let's actually practice how this could sound out loud, because it's one thing to understand it and another thing to say it in the moment.
Good idea. Let's say a coworker asks you to cover their shift again for the third time this month.
You could say, I can't cover it this time, but I hope you find someone.
Short, no apology attached to it.
Or imagine a friend keeps suggesting the same restaurant every week, and you're a little tired of it.
Instead of just going along with it, you could say, honestly, I'd love to try somewhere new this time.
Simple, honest, no drama.
And what about bigger decisions, like a job offer everyone else seems excited about, but something feels off to you?
You could say, I appreciate the offer, but it doesn't feel right for me at the moment.
That sentence protects your gut feeling even when everyone else's opinion is louder.
One more, because family situations are usually the hardest. Say your parents keep pushing you toward a plan for your life that isn't really yours.
That's a tough one because saying no there can feel like disappointing the people who raised you.
You could say, I hear you, and I still want to choose my own path on this one.
Warm but firm. You're not attacking them, you're just standing where you actually stand.
The pattern is always similar. State it plainly, skip the long explanation, and let the sentence stand on its own.
No performance, no defending yourself for 10 minutes.
Just the truth, said kindly and left there.
Let's slow down now and walk through today's words one more time.
A calm little tour through everything we talked about.
Next word, people pleaser. Repeat after me. People pleaser. One more time, people pleaser. And the final one, people pleaser.
A people pleaser is someone who almost automatically puts other people's approval and comfort before their own needs. For example, she always agrees to plans she doesn't like just to avoid disappointing her friends. Or, being a people pleaser at work often means saying yes to every extra task even when you're already overloaded. And the first step to changing that pattern is simply noticing when you're doing it.
Here's the next phrase, self-approval. Say it with me, self-approval. Once more, self-approval. And to finish it off, self-approval.
Self-approval means feeling okay with your own choices without needing someone else to confirm they were right. For example, she felt real self-approval after finally saying no to a project she didn't excite her. Or, building self-approval takes practice because most of us are used to looking for outside opinions first. And self-approval doesn't mean ignoring feedback, it means not depending on it for your own peace of mind.
Moving on to our next phrase, gut feeling. Repeat after me, gut feeling. One more, gut feeling. And to finish it off, gut feeling.
Your gut feeling is your first honest instinct about something before you start overthinking it. For example, my gut feeling told me the deal wasn't right, even though everyone else was excited about it. Or, she ignored her gut feeling and regretted it later. And learning to trust your gut feeling is a skill, not something you're simply born knowing.
Next word, boundaries. Try it out loud. Boundaries. One more round. Boundaries. And one last time, boundaries.
Boundaries are the clear limits you set on what you're willing to do or accept from other people. For example, setting boundaries at work helped him stop taking on tasks that weren't his responsibility. Or, healthy boundaries actually protect relationships, they don't damage them. And a boundary doesn't need a long explanation. One honest sentence is usually enough.
Here's the next word, burnt out. Give it a try. Burnt out. One more, burnt out. And the last one, burnt out.
If you're burnt out, you feel completely drained, physically and emotionally, usually after doing too much for too long without a real break. For example, she felt burnt out after months of saying yes to every single request. Or, ignoring your own limits is one of the fastest ways to end up burnt out. And rest isn't a reward you earn, it's something you need before you reach that point.
Last word of the day, true to yourself. Say it with me. True to yourself. One more time. True to yourself. And to finish it off, true to yourself.
Being true to yourself means your choices and words actually match what you genuinely believe instead of what other people expect from you. For example, turning down the promotion felt strange to others, but it was true to herself and what she actually wanted. Or, staying true to yourself sometimes disappoints people, and that's an acceptable cost. And, in the end, being true to yourself is quieter than being people-pleasing, but it's far more sustainable.
Psst. You know, thinking about your sister and my empty running route, I think today's episode is really about one small shift.
Which shift?
Asking yourself first before you ask anyone else.
First you, second you, third still you.
It doesn't mean you stop caring about people.
It just means you stop disappearing from the list of people who matter.
If today you made even one decision that was quietly, honestly yours, that already counts.
It doesn't need an audience to be real.
So however small your version of that was today, we're genuinely glad you made it.
And a little proud of you too, even if you never say it out loud to anyone else.
No certificate, no applause, just a quiet little win that belongs entirely to you.
Which is honestly the best kind.
And if you want to keep going with this kind of topic, we have an episode called You Can Do It, all about believing in your own choices. It's a great next step. First you, second you, and third, still you.
This is Michelle.
And this is Chris.
Take care of your English.
And take care of your heart. Bye, everyone.
Bye.